Hello, I'm Heather Hansen O'Neill. Welcome to The Humanity of Sales, where purpose meets profit. Now, this used to be a radio show on WRNN Hot Talk 99.5. It was great. We had great response to it. What we did was we shined a light on local organizations who were doing good for their people, for their customers in the community, and how that was coming back to them. It's the humanity of sales where purpose meets profit. But what we want to do, because we had such great response there, is we want to take it bigger, into a bigger audience, and shine a light on organizations all around the country, perhaps even around the world. So if you are an organization who does good, you take care of your people, you create a positive, empowering, uplifting, engaging environment, or you know that because you did that, those people are taking care of your customers. You ask, you listen, you solve the problems that they have, you serve their needs. Or perhaps, and you take care of the community. You think big, you think bigger, you think about what this can mean to the world. You think about something that touches your heart, a purpose-filled initiative, and you do something about it. You think beyond profit, beyond the company, and you look at the impact you are making or could make in the world in a positive way. If you are, then let me know. Let me know at heather@heatherhansenoneil.com. Reach out. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn and you can personal message me there. I can't wait to talk to you about it. Now, what we're going to be doing though, is we're going to be putting this in a format that's like a 30-minute clock radio show format so that you know what you're going to get. And I have something up my sleeve that I'm trying to demonstrate I can do. That's more to follow. Now, what I want to do is I want to begin by sharing a little something fun with you. So I was reading Smart Brevity. Here it is, Smart Brevity. And I saw this on page 119. Great book, by the way. It says, being selfless is selfishly beneficial. Once you see yourself as serving your audience, people take notice. They reward you, trust you, welcome you, and actually read or listen to you. Now, it definitely applies to the humanity of sales because if you're going in with the intention of doing the right things, of doing good, and then you actually do good, it will come back in the form of engaged employees, loyal customers, additional productivity, profitability. It comes back. But what we're going to be focusing on each week is not just these tips, but also shining that light on an organization who is doing it. We're going to be talking about giving you actionable ideas. We're going to look at what they're doing and maybe some suggestions that they have, why they believe that it works, how that profit ties in. And I'd really be interested to hear your thoughts on this as well. So definitely make sure to reach out to me, heather@heatherhansenoneil.com. Let me know if you have an idea for it. Now, what we're going to be doing is a commercial break. Okay. Now, we're not really right now doing a commercial break. We're going to simulate a commercial break so that you know where it would go in case you wanted to do a commercial. All right. So our commercial break today is to promote Finding Humanity, the Evolution of Sales. I'm here to just tell you that I'm very excited that my newest book is out. It's fantastic because it also has 40 contributors who had given their stories, heartwarming stories of examples of humanity in business and in life. I'm especially excited about it because 100% of the net proceeds are going to Alzheimer's. You'll find out when you read the book that the story that prompted the writing of it has to do with Alzheimer's. My dad, my grandfather, my mother, It's definitely something that's been prevalent and it's near and dear to my heart. So, one of my big mission things that I am working on is to try to contribute however I can, whether it's through education, through the proceeds from the book, or other ways to get the message out there that we need to do more to help find a cure. If you know someone, who've ever known someone who has had Alzheimer's, you know how very important this is. Now, that's the end of that. Now we're going to get to hearing from Brenda Tringali. Here she is. Welcome to the Humanity of Sales, where purpose meets profit. I am Heather Hansen O'Neill, and I am here with Brenda Tringali, who she lived in New England her entire life before moving to Myrtle Beach in 2017. Now, in 2014, she did something that she had always wanted to do. We're going to find out about her previous life before that, but I wanted to focus on the fact that that was when she founded At Your Fingertips Organizing. She's a member of NAPA, which is the National Association of Productivity and Organizing Professionals. Brenda's also a CPO, which is a Certified Professional Organizer, and she's a member of Faithful Organizers. I mean, she's very organized. Now, those of you who know me are probably thinking, oh, you have to be her client because, Heather, this is not your forte. So I am looking forward to getting some great information from Brenda. Brenda, how are you?
I am doing great, Heather. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so
Great.
much. Now, we're really focused on the humanity of sales here, where purpose
Hmm.
meets profit. But before
Yep.
we dive into a couple of my primary questions as it relates to that, give us just a little background on how why you really wanted to do this as your career now.
This is my third act, but in the back of my mind, Heather, I knew that this was something I always wanted to do. I don't know how I first heard about it or whatever, but it was always in the back of my mind. And
Mhm.
so it wasn't until about 2014 that I finally got the opportunity to start my own business, to become a professional organizer and start my own business. My husband and I downsized our lives.
Mhm.
So we got rid of the big house, the 3,000 square foot house, got rid of the mortgage, the bills, downsized to a 1,000 square foot condo. And then that gave me the ability to really just jump right in and
That's
not have those financial restraints.
I love that so much. Now jump right into now I could go about what I think you help people with, but I'd
Hmm.
rather you
Yep,
just give the overview of I think you have four main pillars.
I do. Yep,
Okay, yeah.
yes. So the first one is traditional organizing, which is what most professional organizers do. So whether it's residential or business, so your workplace. So I do that. I love that. That's where I started out. But now I am also migrating. I'm
Mhm.
evolving. So I love helping people with productivity. So what do I mean by that? So project management, task management, time management, because people just don't, well, most people just don't have the knowledge or skills to get things done, the things that they want to do in life.
They're craving it.
Yeah, they are craving it. The third pillar is helping people with goal achievement. And I just started doing this the past couple of years, but basically, I have clients who have goals um, that they want to achieve but haven't been able to, and so I really help them with accountability
Mhm.
and weekly check-ins, whatever. So that is great. And then the fourth pillar is speaking. I just love educating people about everything organizing productivity related. So I love speaking.
Ah, that's fantastic. I mean,
Thank
what
you.
you're doing is very important in the world right now. I am not the only one. I'm self-professed needing of this service,
Mm.
but I'm not the only one. But let's go
Right.
back now. I said that I wanted to go
Yeah.
back for a moment. So you have a
Mhm.
background in both social work and then 30 years in HR. So I'd like you to
Correct.
put that hat on first, and then we'll come to your organizing hat and see how it ties
Okay.
together. Okay. So
Okay.
looking
Yep.
at this from that hat, do you believe that there's a place or a need for humanity in business or sales?
So there is definitely, definitely a need for both.
Okay. Yes.
Um, and let me just, can I just give you a quick example
I love
Do
examples.
I
I
have
love
time?
stories. Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and it's more of a story, but so I was in HR or human resources for 30 years, and the first 15 of which, excuse me, I did the hands-on HR. But
Mhm.
then I transitioned and I ended up placing HR people in jobs. I was a headhunter. Okay, so I
Ah.
worked for a recruiting agency, very small,
Mhm.
and um, I was the first recruiter that the owner was bringing on board at that time. So he was, solopreneur, and we interviewed and we hit it off. But I said to him during the interview, I said, "Look, if you are looking for quotas, if you're looking for me to make so many sales a week, I am not the person for you. I'm about relationships and cultivating those relationships."
Mhm.
And I really didn't think he would extend the offer to me, but he did. And I'll tell you, it worked very well. We were both very successful. We helped people find their dream jobs, and to me, that just meant the world. So it's
Mm.
not about profit. It's in my heart.
But here's the interesting thing, and it leads back to the tagline of where purpose
Hmm.
meets profit. Everything's
Right,
coming full circle here, Brenda.
right.
So we started with the fact that you followed your passion for
Hmm.
organizing. Now we're going back to those other things and how the relationship is most important, which ties into humanity.
Right.
How when you worked together on helping people find their
Yeah,
dream jobs, that
yeah,
purpose, that
yeah.
passion, it's humanity. It's
It
humanity
is.
in
It is.
action,
Yeah,
and the money comes from that.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now let's look at it from the lens of organizing. I
Okay.
I imagine this is just in my head, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm thinking that when for myself, when I am more organized, when I use
Hmm.
the systems
Yeah.
that keep me organized, remind me of doing things, when I have things in place, when I don't have clutter, I am at my optimal, right? And
Right.
I am
Yeah.
able to then become more present and build relationships better
Right.
because
Right.
there's space for it.
Absolutely.
That's what it means in my world. But from
Right.
your perspective, as an expert in this, what do
Hmm.
you see? Do you see similar things happening? Do you have a story there?
I so yeah, I mean, not only are you, I mean, you're creating the physical space, but yeah, you're creating the mental space.
Yes.
Right? The mental
Mm-hmm.
space. You don't have that clutter. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have the attention clutter. Again, the mental clutter. Because everything your to-dos are written down, you don't have to worry about them, right? They're in a trusted spot. So
Mm-hmm.
you'll be reminded. And then that just opens you up to focus on people and relationships. And that is just the most beautiful thing because you can truly, truly spend time with that person and not be distracted. And
Mm.
it's just such a beautiful thing. And a lot of people I don't think experience that. I feel like they're so distracted in life.
And they're so distracted, not just from even the people who maybe are wanting, like for me, I'm creating this with my systems because it helps me. But then
Right,
we also get, it's not just our own space, right? But we get
right,
the noise
right.
from other
Whoa,
people's priority.
right, right,
Yeah.
right,
So
right.
we have about 2 minutes before we
Mm-hmm,
go into our commercial break. So
mm-hmm.
do you have, my listeners love a nice tip or a suggestion or something actionable that they can take away. So do you have something that our listeners could think about differently or do that could help free up some of that mental clutter so that they can become more present and more in alignment with the humanity of sales?
Yeah, let me share one, and I'm going to say it's probably, well, I was going to say more productivity related, but when it comes to these things that clutter our heads, right, our minds, all these commitments that we have, appointments, whatever. Some people use multiple tools. Some use paper calendars, some use digital, some use a combination of both. My recommendation is use one.
Mm.
Right. And use it just for the appointments, just for physical appointments that you have to, meet. Don't use them for reminders. Use it to block out time to get things done, but use one calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and this way you're not jumping back and forth. You're not trying to make an appointment and say, oh, but when I get back to my office, let me double check my other calendar and I'll get back to you. But you can just manage your time and your project so much better.
This is fantastic because I did used to have two calendars
Hmm.
and I felt a little bit like things were falling through the cracks and
Yep.
I narrowed it down to the one calendar. So I think that is a really good suggestion. I've personally found that it was
Thank you.
effective. But I also really like something that you said here. Yes, we're going to keep our tasks separate, but you
Hmm.
said not just appointments, but like if you want to allocate time in your
Right.
calendar for things that strategy even or sales
Right.
calls or
Right.
like
Right.
people don't do that. I'll tell you, Brenda, they
They
just don't
don't.
do that.
Nope.
Yes. So I
They
think
don't.
that is a fantastic suggestion. I really
Thank you.
love that. Now, we are talking, listeners, we're talking to Brenda Tringali. She is master organizer and her company is at your fingertips organizing. We are going to continue talking with her after this brief break and we'll bring her back momentarily. Stick with us.
Finding Humanity is now available in softcover, ebook, and audible versions. Get your copy today on Amazon and know that in doing so, you are doing your part to help fight Alzheimer's.
Hello, hello. We're back. I'm Heather Hansen O'Neill, and this is The Humanity of Sales, where purpose meets profit. I have the great pleasure of speaking with Brenda Tringali of At Your Fingertips Organizing. She's been giving us some tips, folks, and I would like to ask for more of those. But before I do, Brenda, welcome back. I'd like to
Thank you.
find out from
Mhm.
you what differentiates you. I love this question, asking people to really think about what's their value. So what is it for you?
Well, so it's some basic things as well, but so I, as a member of NAPO and being a certified professional organizer, I follow their code of ethics. So the organizing industry is not regulated, and
Mm,
people don't realize that. So anyone can really hang a shingle out saying they're a professional organizer with absolutely no experience or education. So yeah, again, I'm the CPO. I've got 10 plus years of experience. Um, and I love sharing this with people. And I too, um, we all hang on to certain things, right?
mhm, mhm.
And for me, it's sentimental stuff. And I share that with clients and people, fellow organizers have said, well, why do you admit to that? And I say, because I want clients to understand I can relate to them. I'm not going to make them get rid of anything that they don't want to.
Mhm.
And so I help them, I guide them with those difficult decisions.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
those are a
think
few of
that's
the things.
great. Well, you know what? And those are both humanity related. Expressing that vulnerability builds
Yeah,
rapport with people. That's
yeah,
humanity, right? And then that
yeah,
differentiation, really understanding what your value is and
yeah,
coming from a place of ethics, that's
yeah,
humanity. I knew
yeah,
your
yeah.
answer would fall back into this. I knew it would. What do you think is the biggest mistake that people make as it relates to building connections or humanity?
I think that people's focus is too much on profits. I alluded to that earlier,
Mhm.
or they're focused on efficiency, and they forget about people. So whether it's their employees, whether it's their clients, their stakeholders, whoever it is. I mean, and at the end of the day, in my opinion, business is built on relationships. And if you don't make people feel valued, then they'll just take their business somewhere else.
That
So
is
I
true.
think, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's great advice, Brenda. I appreciate that. And,
yeah.
I also, what part of the humanity of sales, so we talk about three main areas, how we treat our people,
Hmm.
the environment that we create for them, how we exceed
Hmm.
the expectations of our customers, and then the contribution that we make that's bigger to the
Hmm.
community, world,
Yep.
right? And so I know that you are doing something fun and you do other things, you do several things to
Yeah.
contribute beyond what you do. Would you like to share any of those?
Sure. So you alluded to the first one, so I'll just mention that.
Uh-huh.
So this weekend, March 1st, my designer and I will be participating in a fundraiser that's being held by New Directions, which helps homeless people. And it's called Compassion Through Fashion. So there are, I believe, 25 designers that have designed fashions. And we've just had so much fun. I participated last year as well, and New Directions raised, I believe it was $132,000.
Oh.
Obviously, not just because of me, but
It's a team
yeah,
effort. I
yeah,
know.
but
But you
I
were
just,
part of it.
yeah, but it's just, I love giving back to the community, and that's just one small way.
Mhm.
Another thing that I do is January is Go Month or Get Organized Month.
Oh, I
And
love
so
that.
what I loved, yeah. And so what I've done in the past is I've held a contest for nonprofits, and I ask nonprofits to submit an application as to what project they have not been able to accomplish because they don't have enough staff or volunteers, whatever. I then pick a winner and then I volunteer my time. And so
Mhm.
I've helped a few local ones with some projects, and it's just been wonderful. I've had a ball. And then another thing that I just did recently was I offered a free virtual Bible study, a decluttering Bible study,
That's
which
very
was yeah,
innovative. Yeah.
it was great. A friend of mine wrote the book that we used, Eileen Koff, and it was called "Get Organized God's Way," and it was a wonderful Bible study. So I
Uh,
really enjoyed that as well.
See, it's part of your DNA, Brenda. I
It
knew that
is.
you would be a good fit for the humanity of sales, where
Oh,
purpose meets profit. We have 1 minute to
thank you.
send us out. So, what's
Okay.
next for Brenda?
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay,
Ah,
so I just got certified as a facilitator for a workshop, and it's
Oh.
called Buried in Treasures. And so the acronym is BIT, but it's for people who are on the hoarding spectrum. So I
Mhm.
will just start announcing it'll be virtual. I plan to start it in March. And we not only, so it's for people who compulsively save, acquire, and hoard. So what I found, people on the hoarding spectrum typically buy, or they're over shoppers or whatever. So we're going to address all those things. It'll be a 16-week program, and I'm really excited about it.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And you
Thank
know
you.
what you're going to be able to give them emotionally as
Yeah.
well. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. So, Brenda
Thank you.
Tringali, thank you so much for spending time with
Thank
us
you.
today
Thank
on the
you.
humanity of sales where purpose meets profit. Those of you who are listening, if you love this, make sure to subscribe
Mhm.
and come back and see us. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. And let us know if you have an idea for a show. We'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.